got some good shots yesterday in front of the Jim Beam refinery.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. It's 1:30. It's time for Facebook Live. This is our 56th episode, if you can believe that. That's over a year. And today I've got Kevin Adams with me, our Vice President of Research and Development. This is the high point of his week.
Yes,
he gets
definitely.
to come in and do Facebook.
Yep.
Kyle and TJ are in Florida, so we don't have any help from them, but they'll be Skyping in here in a little bit to tell us what they're up to. And we are dual streaming on live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can catch us in both places. And as always, make sure that you like or share the video so all your friends will see it. And follow us on Instagram and YouTube as well. So on today's session, we're going to do a question and answer like always. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in there. They could be oil, fuel, additive questions. If you want to know about the oil in your lawnmower, that's fine. That's what we do. So just let us know, and we'll get to those in a few minutes. We try to recap on what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret because it's a fun place to be. So we touch on that a little bit, just to give you folks an idea of what we do here in Mount Gilead. And then Kyle's going to be calling in from the road to give us an update on the Florida race. And if we don't have enough questions or we need some time, we're going to go through the Lx4 and do a little bit more talking about that. And we're going to give away some Lx4 16-ounce squeeze bottles.
Yep.
So, Kevin, you want to tell us about the web announcements this week?
Yeah, just a reminder on web, we have a new product available. We talked a little bit about it last week, but it's here, the Lx4. So we're offering that in two sizes. The 16-ounce squeeze for $14.50, that treats 160 gallons. And then the 32-ounce, which we have here, is $24.50, and it treats 320 ounces. Basically, the treat rate works out to be 1 ounce per 10 gallons of fuel.
Very good. Excellent. So also be sure to subscribe to our email newsletter because you'll get news, promos, exclusive offers, and we've been generating a lot of content, articles about how-to, things about oil. So we're trying to really develop our content because we realize it's about education, information. That's what we are about here, so we want to get as much of that out to you as we can. So subscribe to our email newsletter, and that's what you'll see. We get some dealer shout-outs.
Yep. Yeah, the first one, Certified Diesel Power in Elizabeth, Kentucky. Welcome.
We have Race Ready Fabrication in Brentwood, New Hampshire. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the family.
Mathewsons Automotive in Renton, Washington.
Yep. And then Strictly Diesel in Phoenix, Arizona.
And Northern Utah Diesel Experts in Logan, Utah.
Very good. And then Bobcat of Duluth in Duluth, Minnesota. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. JZ Trucking in Maxton, North Carolinas.
Welcome. J.A. Grauber Transportation in Graubill, Indiana.
Smith International Truck Center, and that's in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Very good. And a shout out to our numerous dealers and friends at the ODSS event in Florida this weekend. So that's going to be, hopefully we'll see everybody down there. It'll be a big event. Sounds like the weather's nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut to Kyle, see if we can get him to do this screen-on-screen thing. Let's see how our technical division's doing here, Levi. Can you pull Kyle up? Hey, there's Kyle and TJ down in Florida. Guys, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
How's the setup going?
Can I hear you? Can you hear us?
We can hear you fine.
Good. It is hot down here.
Hot and humid?
He's saying humid. I'm just saying hot.
Just hot? So how's the setup going?
I haven't set up yet. We're setting up today, and then I believe they're going to have some test sessions today for the racers coming in, and then tomorrow we'll get underway with the full. They have all the regular qualifying tomorrow, as well as a gas burst diesel event tomorrow night, kind of in the middle of all this. So some of our diesel racers are going to hopefully hurt some gasser feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the big day, of course, is on Saturday as well. So that's the full-blown, all the eliminations.
Okay.
And I know you guys were just touching on Lx4. I'd like to say that we have Lx4 in the trailer. So anybody down here at the Emerald Coast Race, be your first chance to get your hands on it. And we have it at discount. So it's a great time to try our new product. We got plenty of it with us. So
Excellent.
we expect to get a lot of it out to some new hands, and people can try this new product that we got.
So we have LX4 introduction at this race with a discount. So pick it up if you're in Florida.
Yep.
And you guys, you drove down the Hot Shot Secret truck with a trailer, and TJ drove the Hot Shot Secret BMW race car. Is that right?
Yep. Here's
So-
TJ in all his glory.
All right. TJ, you didn't speed, did you?
No.
That didn't sound very convincing.
The people down here drive a lot faster than Ohioans. I will say that.
Okay. I see you squirming around a lot. I could tell you're a little nervous about that. Okay, well, before you left, Kyle, the night you left, or night before you left, we were sitting here at the LSI Entertainment Center, and
Right.
which is our way, it's an LSI bar, and you left your keys for your white Chevy Suburban, which we call the Marshmallow,
Right.
and you challenged Chad to be able to burn out, because Chad says, I'm going to burn out while you're gone since I got the keys, and he says, yeah, you ain't burning that car out. There's just not enough pickup. So what we had to do was put FR3 in it, rocket fuel, and a whole bunch of gasoline extreme. So let me show you. Let me show you how that went today.
No.
It was good.
Yeah, we're good.
Who was behind the wheel?
Chad.
Chad was. Can you see the video?
Oh, Lord.
Kyle, here goes your
Can you
tires,
see the
buddy.
video, Kyle?
Brand
I
new
can't.
ones.
If you're on Facebook, see if Levi's got it up there.
I think it's better I don't see it. What did you say?
Can you see it now?
We're pulling it up. Oh, yeah.
Chad,
Nehemiah-
you have to take you up on that.
The back seat.
All right, I gotta say, I just put those tires on a week and a half ago. Those
Oh,
were
really?
brand new tires.
Well, one of them popped.
They take.
He popped the driver's
Well,
side.
they're
I thought Chad was going to replace them.
They are.
Is it all the way gone?
Oh yeah.
You could have at least put the front ones on the back. Those are old ones.
Didn't think about that. What, you see it right there popping?
I see it.
Yeah, it was down to the rim. Well, hopefully there's a spare tire there.
Oh Lord. No, I don't have a spare. So, all right. I think the challenge is now to move back over to Chad, and I'm going to do a burnout in that little Prius.
You know what? That is going to be a good challenge to see you do a burnout of that thing.
Oh, it's happening now. We're going to change it to a building, and I'm going to do a burnout of that thing.
You see that? Look how epic that is, man.
That is quite a burnout.
carrots in here.
It's on now.
We only lost one tire. The other one still got a little bit of rubber left. Not a whole lot.
You guys are making clouds. Yeah, Prius is up next. It's on.
All right. Well, when you get back, you gotta. We'll try to get the rubber washed off the back of the Suburban before you get here. There's little rubber pellets all over the back. It didn't look so good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Hey, Kyle, I told you I could do it. I just felt kind of bad after I seen those were new tires.
All right.
You have to talk with
Can you
Chris
get the
and
voice
see
up?
if the company will reimburse you, but I doubt it.
Now continues, and I'm going to get one of his many vehicles, and I'll outdo that burnout in one of
Okay.
Chad's vehicles.
Okay, it'll be good. I can't wait till you get back. There was a little video at the end there where Chad's telling you challenged me to do it, so I did it. I don't know if Levi can get the voice up on it. It was a delay.
I will check the full video out. I saw enough.
All right. Was there any other
I'm
announcements?
not kidding. Those tires were literally 7 days old, by the way. So
Those tires are 7 days old?
the ones in the rear were. The front ones are old. I need to replace those, but now they all need them.
Hopefully they weren't
It's
very
all right.
expensive.
We're gonna get some. We're gonna have the first ever Prius burnout video soon. Just watch. It's coming.
Okay. Well, just so that you have a peaceful weekend while you're working down there, I'll let you know that we took the tires off the old Suburban and put them on there because we didn't want to tear yours up.
Ah!
And
All right,
while,
good. That means I can at least make it home once I get back home. So that's good.
well, while he had the tires off, he went ahead and took the brakes off too because he didn't figure it'd peel out if there was brakes on it.
Yeah, I told him the brakes were probably bad enough he didn't need to. He said he was taking brakes off. I wouldn't be surprised. It's Chad after all.
So we were respectful of your new tires.
Thank you. Tell Chad it's on. It is on like Donkey Kong.
All right. Well, we can't wait till you get back. You could take the Prius out, and we'll do that next week on Facebook.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Hey, and everybody down here in Florida, come and see us at the booth, Emerald Coast Dragway. The next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll be out there. LX4 is in the booth. These guys are about to tell you all about it. We're gonna be down here selling it at a discount. Great time to try it. And anything from you?
No,
Well, then you got to do your sign off then.
big country out.
All right. We'll see you
See
guys.
you guys
later.
soon.
All right. So now you can see what we do here at LSI when we're really busy, because that's usually when we do things like this.
You can see there's more than one set of skid marks on that drag strip there.
Well, we do.
We call the road behind our shop.
Yeah, there's a couple sets back there.
Yeah.
And I think other people have practiced to see if they could get done.
Yeah.
So we have fun sometimes, but the rest of the time we're working hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so also just remember, if you have questions, post them now. We're going to get to those in a second. And this weekend on TV, we're going to be on Truck U at 1 p.m. on Saturday. So Saturday at 1, Truck U on Motor Trend Channel, and they're going to be talking about EDT and FR3. Sunday at 8 a.m., if you're an early bird, Truck Tech on the History Channel is going to be talking about Diesel Extreme. So that's a good chance to see that. Sunday at 10:30 on Motor Trend on Truck U is going to be Stiction Eliminator and Diesel Extreme. So we're going to be all over the TV this weekend.
Yeah.
3 different shows. And then also going on this weekend, the 6th leg of the Outlaw Diesel Super Series, ODSS.
Yep.
Highway Sunshine Showdown.
Hard way.
Oh, sorry, Hardway.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where they're at down in Holt, Florida.
Yeah.
But you know about that. Give us the
Yeah.
lowdown.
Yeah, I've been at that track before. Ryan Milliken puts on a really good event. Like Kyle and TJ had said, it's gas versus diesel. There's a lot of buzz around those kind of races. It'd be really interesting to find out who actually comes up on top. But yeah, that's going to be a good event. We're hoping to see Wade Moody debut his Corvette at this event. We talked to him a couple days ago. We're sponsoring him with the oils and gear oil, and looks like he's going to make it to the Rudy's event.
So it's a
but
Corvette with a diesel engine?
yeah, it's going to be pretty intense. when
Pretty
he
epic?
gets- yeah, he's testing and tuning right now, but it's looking forward to seeing that out
So
on the
he
track.
bought a Corvette, took the engine out, put a diesel engine in. There's one of those frame cars like Tom Perini's.
It's similar to Tom Perini's. It's stretched and it has the style of a Corvette. You can look at it and say it's a Corvette, but it's not an exact
It's all,
Corvette.
the body's all built and everything,
Yeah.
but it's got a diesel engine in it.
Yeah. Yep.
How do those fare against a gas engine?
Well, when Firepunk went out last week, they actually came up on top. I forget now who he was competing against. If Kyle was actually at the event taking some video, and we had that on Kyle's Facebook page.
So
But
Wade Moody against Tom Perini?
that'd be an interesting race. Yeah.
So that'd be close, or
Oh yeah, it'd be a good race.
really?
Yeah. The diesels are really getting their game down where they're really able to put a lot of power down and starting to get the attention of the gassers.
Okay. So maybe we'll have to arrange that
Yeah.
soon. So both of them are Hot Shot Secret cars, diesel versus gas.
Yeah, back behind our shop here, we can.
Wow. I don't know. We might be pushing the limits of the state patrol's patience with us. We did talk about flattening that road out a little bit,
Yeah.
and then we could really do it. But I wish we had a drag strip. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week, or the week coming up, next week is also the Farm Science Review Show at Ohio State University. This is in London, Ohio. It's one of the largest farm shows in the country. We usually set up there. The last couple of years, we were too busy to go there, but we will have a booth there this weekend. Diesel Dawn will be there. And stop by, ask questions, see what we've got. There's upwards of 140,000 visitors.
Yeah.
So it's an 80-acre exhibit area, and it's huge. Have you been there before?
I've not. No.
There is everything in the world from livestock to splitting equipment for logs. I mean, it's just the one go-to place. Anything that is agriculture, rural, you can go there. I mean, you could literally go there and drive 100 tractors. And then they have the field set up that they plant early in the season, and then they'll have the big combines and everything, and they'll, you know, like take the beans off or the corn, and they'll rate it and show everybody that you can compare different kinds of fertilizer, seeds.
Oh, wow.
So Monsanto's here, you could check them, but it's
Yeah.
a huge event.
Huh.
It's a good place to go. I mean, it's a good place to go spend a couple of days.
Yeah.
So R&D this week, what have we been working on, Kevin?
Yeah, we're on the finish line with a 1030 CK4 engine oil. It'll fall into the category of our green diamond. We're starting out on that viscosity with a full synthetic, group 3, group 4 synthetic. It'll meet the CK4 specification, and it will also meet the extra Ford specification, the WSS specification with the extra phosphorus in it. So
There's a distinction there. So all CK4s aren't alike.
That's correct. Actually, some CK4s meet automotive spec because they don't have that much additive in it. So basically what happened when CK4 was introduced, there's always a push to reduce the amount of zinc and have other additives in there to make up the difference. Well, when they came out with the CK4 additive package, in the initial testing, everything looked good as far as engine protection goes, but Ford had determined after some additional testing that there wasn't enough high pressure, extreme pressure additives to protect their engines. So they came out with a specification when they basically said, you not only have to meet the CK4, but you have to meet this additional spec of ours with the extra phosphorus in it to meet this extra spec, and that's what they require to protect their engines. So any oils that we introduce, we want to make sure that it's got high level of additives, good quality base oils, and basically it can be used in any application. So, for us when we're putting this package together, it's a no-brainer that it has the extra package in it. It does take us out of being able to use it for automotive applications, but it's a good heavy-duty oil for any engine oil, any diesel engine oil application.
So it would meet the SN
No,
spec.
no.
How far over is it?
Uh,
So when we're talking about the automotive, they're saying like you can have a maximum of say 1,000 parts per million zinc. So if you have 1,001, they're saying that doesn't meet the spec. So it's not that it's not good enough; it's that the oil is too good, but it might pollute the exhaust system.
Yeah, that's the issue. They figure worst case scenario, if you were burning a lot of oil, those lubricants that make ash would go through your exhaust system and possibly plug up your catalytic converter. So as far as how much it's over, I don't remember the exact numbers, but roughly 10%.
Okay, so if I used it in my car, I'm not really risking anything.
No, especially if you're not burning oil.
Right.
They just plan for worst case scenario when they're setting these specifications. But
So it's really a better oil than what I'm buying off the shelf, but the people that are putting the product on the shelf can't make it better because the EPA wouldn't like that.
correct. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a great system to me. I mean, it seems like we should be able to get the best of both worlds. If I want to have the most additive in there or good oil, I should be able to do that and not
Yeah.
risk anything. But they won't let me run the country anymore.
Yeah.
So we have a full line of RV products on the horizon. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we looked at how we could address the RV market, and like we always talk about, we're always looking at ways that we can improve our existing formula. What we have in our existing EDT and Diesel Extreme, basically we can't put any more additives in for two reasons. One, we can't keep any more additives in solution, they would fall to the bottom. And two, we're right at the limit that the EPA sets as far as active ingredients in a chemical. So all of our additives are EPA registered, and in order to get that registration, you have to meet that requirement. So with the RV products, we had a desire to put in, we looked at the EDT formula and said, well, if we put in some extra stabilizer, we're going to have to take some other stuff out. So we really thought for RVs we should have a unique formula that's tailored to the RV market. And the way if you think about how a typical RV person uses their equipment, they drive it maybe 1,000 miles, 500 to 1,000 miles a year, and it's stored a lot of the year. So we took basically a version of EDT that still has a lot of active ingredients, backed off a little bit of the cetane and replaced that with fuel stability and a little bit more of the moisture demulsifier. And so we have an everyday product. We have
Moisture demulsifier.
yeah, demulsifier and the EDT. We're going to have an oil additive. Basically, that one is just the Stiction Eliminator branded for the RV market. So
Okay.
so it goes along with the rest of the product line. We're going to have a spray grease for the slides and a transmission Stiction Eliminator for the RV.
I can see all those being really neat. I've used a spray grease and it works. I mean, it helped my slides. They were getting stuck and it fixed it. And on the transmissions, I can definitely see that being good for the Allison transmission and on the Ford V10. They always have, especially the older models, had this 4-speed transmission.
Yeah.
And that thing does not shift well. So the TSC does make the transmission Stiction Eliminator makes a big difference in it. I tried it. It makes a huge difference. Like, you can tell the difference like night and day. It's crazy.
Yeah, we've gotten actually some good testimonials even on our EDT without the special RV mix. So it should be a good hit.
So stay tuned. We're going to have a complete line of RV additives. You expect that 30 days?
Yeah, I would say no more than 30 days.
No more than 30 days? Okay.
It's so hard to plan though.
Okay. We're going with 30 days, everybody.
Yeah.
30 days. You'll be able to buy them online. Okay, how about the spray lubricants? It says we have some new spray lubricants coming out.
Yeah, we're on the home stretch with that. Basically, we have 2 spray lubricants that we're going to introduce. One is a rust inhibitor. And to give you an idea of what this rust inhibitor is going to do as far as unique qualities, there's a test to see how well an oil protects for rust, and it's a salt spray test. So
Salt spray.
Salt spray. So it's a
spray
special
salt on.
ASTM test. It's a humidity chamber that salt water is basically sprayed, which is a worst case scenario as far as producing rust. To help you index where we are at with this product, WD-40 was about 40 is in the 40s as far as hours of resistance until the first rust appeared. Our rust inhibitor spray can go 700 hours.
Wow. So
So-
almost 10 times more.
Yeah, we tested 8 different rust
Can you get to
inhibitors.
800? I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
I'm
We're
just
already
kidding.
10 times better than the other competitors that we tried.
It's fine. It's fine.
We actually tested 8 other competitors in the market, and the closest one was about 100 hours.
Wow.
So
So we're at 700 hours.
Yeah.
So WD-40's at 40, other competitors are 100, and we're at 700. So
Yeah.
it's the best of the best.
yeah,
Okay.
if something you want to keep from rusting, and it's a fairly thin product, so it'll flow out really nicely. It's not something like a spray grease that would kind of clump. You'd have to use a lot of it to
Right.
coat. So that should be interesting to our
Okay.
customers. And then the other one is a spray grease.
Spray grease.
It's kind of a spray and stay product.
And what's unique about that?
There is other spray greases out there. It also has some really good rust protection properties. In the salt spray, it's about 200 on that same test. But what's unique about it is I think people will like it a lot for garage doors. Basically, it's a thicker product. It's got a patent. It's actually has 2 separate oils in the can, and they mix as they come out, and basically it makes an emulsion and a kind of a spray type grease that stays in place.
So if it was and the reason is, if it was a really thick oil in the can, it wouldn't come out. So by making it in 2 parts, you're able to mix it at the nozzle, and so when it gets there, it stays.
Yeah,
Now, the reason that you want to use a grease like this on a garage door is because when the garage door is up and your car's underneath, if you put grease on there, it will drip down on your car.
yeah.
And I know that from experience. And so you have this big line of grease on the front of your car, but this doesn't do that. It stays in
No,
place.
and you lose your protection too. If there's a thinner material, once it drips away, you don't have the lubricating ability
How about
anymore.
on like a fifth wheel?
We haven't tested the point load on that. it may have some good applications in that. We'll have to do some testing.
Well, I
to
was
see where
talking
it
to Brett.
ranks.
We were working on a fifth wheel spray grease with a
Yeah.
really high Timken load, so it won't smash out.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a really good product if we can develop it, and it has to be completely water resistant. So we
Yeah.
were looking at making it with a silicone base, so that it doesn't have any washout.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Any other spray lubricants to talk about before we move on to?
No, that's it for today.
All right. Well, keep up the good work. I mean, you guys are making it happen there in the R&D department. We're also working on a new studio, a new set for our Facebook Live and for other video projects. We're hoping to really start putting more content out there, explaining some of our products and how things work. So we're going to switch over to our questions and see what we got. Do you want to read those, or do you want me to do it?
I'll do a few here, and then I'll flip it over to you. We
Okay.
can take turns. Well, there's a lot of comments. Okay, so Brandon Newber, he had a question whether the LX4 is for gas or diesel. So,
It was-
kind of give you some background to the product. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but this is a good place to talk about it. You know, we go to all these events, and we had actually it was the first event at Hardway that we went to this year. Some of the racers, their injectors were actually popping. They came to the booth and was like, hey, do you have anything that can get me by when my injectors are hanging up? And what we found was anybody that was having problems was running a diesel racing fuel that was really dry. So at the booth, we gave them FR3, and that fixed the problem for the event. But we basically wanted to have the best fuel additive that would give the best for lubricity. So we thought, well, for the racers, this would be a good product to add to the racing fuel. Also, there's people out there that just use 2-cycle oil, or they use transmission fluid to increase the lubricity. They don't use any other additives, but they do have a need for a lubricity additive. So we thought it would address those people. And then you also have
just regular over-the-road truck drivers that just want a lubricity additive.
Exactly.
Because they don't want a fully formulated additive. They want just protection for lubricity because of ultra-low sulfur.
Yep.
So that's why we developed the product. Now, after it was done for diesel,
Yeah.
the question came up, can this be used in gas? And then we went back and thought, well, yeah, why not? I mean, there's no reason it can't be used in gas.
Yeah, and actually what happened was, if you remember, it's probably been about a month that we did that mystery box.
Mm-hmm.
We put LX4 in the mystery box, and some people used it in gasoline applications. And what we got reports back from was, hey, I put this in my gas, and I got a 10% increase in fuel economy.
yeah,
I got a
yeah.
5% increase in fuel economy. So actually, Trey talked about last week. It's kind of hard to hear him on the feed, so I don't know if it actually came through. But he was one of the people that got over 10%. It might have been 14% increase in fuel economy, and that was on his digital readout there. So to answer your question, it is good for gas or diesels. We think in gasoline engines, it works as an upper cylinder lubricant and is a really good upper cylinder lubricant. So
Well,
definitely could be used in either application.
Last week I touched on this because Trey was on. He said that he used EDT and LX4.
Yeah.
And he said he got like a 15% increase in fuel economy or something. So I started thinking about it online while we were shooting, and I said, the EDT was made to make the fuel chemically more efficient so that it burns with a more efficient burn, combusts better. What was going out as black smoke is now being used as a BTU. I wonder if the LX4 isn't acting more as a surface treatment, plating the walls, the valves, and giving you better compression and more lubricity in the upper cylinder, and they're acting in union with each other and getting some really crazy good numbers. So
yeah, it's very possible. And on the diesel side, what we learned when we were testing our lubricity additives is that the refinery puts lubricity additives in the fuel to hit the specification. Well, sometimes certain additives, you reach a point of diminishing returns. So if you use the same additives that the refinery is using, and they've already spiked it quite a bit, you're not going to get very much increase in lubricity by adding a little bit more.
well, sometimes it can make it worse because that's where you get the IDs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So we really do have a unique recipe with this LX4. We tested it in a number of different fuels that had high lubricity, fuels that had no lubricity. So to give you an idea on the HFRR, a fuel that would have no lubricity in it and be out of spec, 520 being the largest the wear scar can be and be in spec, they were in the 600s.
So there was no lubricity.
Yeah, we affected the biggest change in those, but we had some fuels that actually were like in the mid 300s, and those are the fuels that instead of just having a negligible benefit like we had with some additives, we're able to continue to
Drop it down to
keep
194.
on. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of interesting thing that we learned from our testing. So that's a big difference. Not all lubricity additives give you the same bang because of that cumulative effect.
And again, that we're shooting for the best of the best, and that's what we want to stick with that, because there's other companies. There's a lot of other companies. You have a lot of places you can spend your money, and we want you to know if you're buying our product, it's been researched, it's been developed, and you cannot get a better additive. That's where we want to live. So Michelle Shane Johnston says, a Corvette with a diesel, that's badass. Ever seen the Cuda with a Cummins? Car is a super nice and sounds amazing. Sounds good. Sounds like we're on to something here. See what else here we got. Need to get some Lx4 from Michelle. Yep, you do, and get a banner from Kyle. Kyle, you owe a banner. And then Timothy Parker's asking, so do I add the Lx4 to my EDT? And we just covered that. You can. There is a benefit to both of them. We're going to. What we'll try to do as scientists is quantify that for you, because we don't want you wasting money. So we've seen anecdotal evidence with people like you calling us and sending us texts saying this is what I got. So the next step is we'll start doing mileage tests, and we'll test Lx4 in a gas, and we'll see what it does. Then we'll check it on the other one, and then we'll check them both together, and we'll report all that to you. That's the one thing that's unique about what we do, is we have total transparency. We try to publish everything. We don't hide. I mean, it is what it is. Science is science. I lost the questions. I don't know how to get on there.
Yeah,
for those of you that don't know, I don't know how to do Facebook. So
one thing for the future, we had talked about that we can't put any more additives in our product. So basically, we have to find stronger ingredients.
Right.
So what's interesting about the Lx4 is, at the concentration we have our lubricity additive in there, we're actually able to push our lubricity wear scar further with the Lx4. So we're confirming testing right now and figuring out how much Lx4 we need to put in our EDT. But in the within the next month, we're going to be starting to ship EDT with Lx4 in it.
So what's going to happen is Lx4 will become a core ingredient in diesel winter anti-gel, in EDT, and diesel extreme. Just like FR3 became a core ingredient in all of our oils and our oil additives, that's what our Lx4 will become, right? That's the idea?
Yep.
Okay, so hello, gentlemen. This is from Trey Sykes,
Hey.
also known as John. Hello, gentlemen. Lx4 is the secret sauce for CP4 longevity and efficiency. We are going to break that down and do a video soon on the CP4 pump and show you what's inside and show you what happens. So that's part of our content strategy, to start developing more information for everybody. So Brandon, Lx4 can be used in gas or diesel. See, we don't even have to be here. We have other people answering these questions for us. When will Lx4 be sold in a gallon? I'd say, is it the gallon right now, Levi?
It's not officially available in the gallon yet, but it's just a matter of making labels.
So we could, in a week or two. And same way with the 55-gallon drums. It'll be ready soon.
Yeah, we make 55. So 5-gallon 55 in totes, we make those labels in house. So basically, if you guys are dealing with an AE, just ask them for that product, and we'll figure out the price for that quantity.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just call in. So why don't you check, because I can't work that thing. It's not doing anything for
It
me.
might be at the end. I'll just refresh here.
So as soon as we get our studio built, you'll be able to see some of these videos. We'll start posting them one a week, one every 2 weeks, and we're hoping that we get a lot of good action from it. Is there any other questions there? Did we get them all?
Yeah, Trey Sykes says he said basically it's available 4 ounce to 55-gallon drums. Private message him for pricing. He has been talking to some dealers out there, and he has the latest pricing. So yeah, give him a call.
Lx4 is also the newest product available to independent dealers, so you'll be able to find this from any of our dealers. If if you go into one of the dealers and you want to buy it, ask them to bring it in stock. They can call us and we'll get it shipped out same day. Almost all the orders here go out same day or next day. Very seldom is anything here longer than 48 hours. That's our goal, is to get it out
Yeah.
as soon as it comes in.
One comment here from Jamie Panora. He said, "Hey guys, love your product. They have a shop in Danbury, Connecticut. They installed a fuel tank in a 6-liter, and the paint side started to chip, and they're blaming your product, saying it was your fault. Contact our R&D department, and we will start an investigation into that case. You know, when things like this come up, you know, what we like to do, or what we always do, is try to do a root cause investigation. You know, we've never had a problem where we've blended something up wrong here, but it's always a possibility. And, you know, even though no harm testing's been done, we need to completely understand what the cause is. You know, this is we haven't heard of this problem ever happening, but yeah, give us a call or, you know, send us a message here on Facebook and we'll reach out to you. And
If it was our fault, we'll take care of it. But so far, we've not seen any of the products etch paint or dissolve paint or even soften the paint. So they really shouldn't do that. But call us and we'll make sure it gets taken care of.
Yep. Brent Hilliard says, changing topics, any update on the new 6-liter France filter installation kit?
Do you want to handle
No,
that?
go ahead.
Since I let the cat out of the bag. Okay, so the short stories. I wish I had one here to show you, but for those of you that don't know, the 60-second version of this is the France filter will keep your oil inside the truck as clean as brand new all the time, 24/7, every mile you drive, which completely eliminates all of the abrasive wear, makes your engine last forever, and it makes the oil last 2 or 3 times longer. It's a great investment. The hard part is most people get antsy about turning wrenches and hooking them up, and you got to drill into the sidewall to mount it and that. So we know that is an issue. So we went back to the drawing board and said, okay, what if we made this a plug-and-play system? Brett and Kevin worked on this. Brett is our vice president of operations, and we found these really strong, what are the magnets called? Neomite or something. It's like these 90-pound magnets, right? The kind that they use like on CB antennas. And we put them on the base, and then we had all the lines pre-fitted and pre-made. And so all you have to do is basically stick it on the sidewall, replace your oil fill cap and replace your oil filter cap, and that's it. I mean, there's no tools. Well, you need a wrench to tighten things up, but for the most part, it's almost tool-free. It's worked. We've been testing it on vehicles here, and it's not moving anywhere, so we're really excited about it. We'll start with the Ford 6.0. We really should have them any day. I asked Brett about this morning. I think he said he ordered the lines, or he's going to order the lines, so we just have to find out. So hopefully we'll release something by next week. I'm gonna put it on the board. Next week we're going to show you the France filter. And we'll write it down, so that's a challenge. Next week we're going to go through the whole thing, give you an idea how it works.
Okay. Randy Jensen says, awesome products. Thanks, Randy. Kyle Fisher is watching now. That's probably an old post. Evan Tracy says, how long do the effects of Lx4, or how long are the effects of Lx4 is it best to use as a constant treatment? Yeah, the Lx4, it adds lubricity to the fuel. So basically, once the fuel burns up, it doesn't have any lasting effects. Some of our additives do stick around for a while, but the Lx4 doesn't.
That we know of.
Yeah.
So the way we designed it was to be used on every tank. So if you're a person that just likes a lot of lubricity, or you feel the need to protect your pump, if you have a Chevy truck that the pumps are being recalled or whatever's happening there with that class action lawsuit, then you'd want to use this every tank. But at the same time, you're putting a lot of lubricity in there on the surface of those metal parts, so there is going to be a residual effect that will hang out for a while. We don't know. We haven't quantified that. So it's made for every tank, but in the future, you may be able to get some extra benefits. If you do have a tank that you don't get to treat it, you might be getting the effects from it.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuel economy effects too. We're getting these fuel economy reports that are crazy good.
Yeah,
so we really we can't wait to get out there and test this. I'm really want to get that done the next week or two.
Yeah, it's ambitious.
We'll see.
All right, so Michelle, we're not reading these comments fast enough because our customers are answering them all for us.
Okay, that's
so Michelle answered that last questions about when you should use Lx4. Tom Perini chimed in. Hi, Tom. Said he'll be doing a short video on the France filter soon.
Oh, great. Hey, Tom, are you going to race? What was it, Wayne Moody? Who'd you say?
Oh, Wade Moody, yeah.
Yeah. Tom, are you up for that? You gonna race a diesel Corvette?
That'd be interesting because he's got a gas Corvette.
I know. We have two Corvettes, both Hot
Yeah.
Shot Secret, one gas, one diesel. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens.
And Kyle chimed in. He said, I think I can smell burnt marshmallow down here in Florida.
I can believe it with that much smoke. There's no bugs
Yeah.
out there for miles.
That's funny. Looks like that's the end of the comments for now.
Okay. So let's go back to the LX4 and see
Okay.
what else we've got to cover on that. We've got down 2 times more lubricity than a leading competitor. And it's really quite a bit more than that because the leading competitor to me is really something on the shelf. So that would be like a Lucas type product. I think they're comparing this with Optilube.
Yeah.
I don't look at Optilube as being the leading competitor. They may be have the most lubricity, but that's more of an industrial product.
Yeah, the reason why we picked them is everybody has the kind of their niche that they go to market with, and Optilubes is lubricity. So if we're doing a lubricity product, you know, they say that they're the number one in the market, and they base that off the lubricity claim. So
Okay.
so that was the thinking behind that.
So what about emissions and warranty if I use my truck?
Yeah, just like all of our other additives, they're ashless. They're Tier 4 compliant, which means that they are okay to use with the newest emissions equipment. They're all EPA registered, so basically the process we have to go through when we come up with a new additive, we send the formula to the EPA. The EPA looks at it, confirms that we're not using any unapproved ingredients or something
That could be harmful to the environment
yeah,
or
exactly,
to the engine, right?
Exactly. So
what about the idea of it being completely safe with other products? And when you said ashless, what does that mean? I know what it means, but I want them to know.
yeah, well, so just like we talked about earlier with the CK4 engine oil, if your truck's burning oil, that ash is going to be put into your combustion system. So diesels just naturally make black smoke. Well, that black smoke actually burns up and makes virtually no ash. But you have additives, a lot of times they're based on metals. And when those additives are reduced by the combustion process, a residue of that metal stays behind, and that's an ash.
Okay.
And so that can actually plug up catalytic converters, it can plug up DPFs. So they have a rule that an additive needs to be compliant and not put ash into those emission systems.
So let's look at this from something that we hear a lot. I want to take transmission fluid and I just dump that in my diesel fuel. Now, would transmission fluid be ashless?
No, actually, transmission fluid has a lot of friction modifiers, some metals in it.
So it's going to burn off.
It's going to burn off, and then it's going to leave some residue. So
that residue would go into the DPF system
exactly,
and clog it.
yeah,
So that would be what the EPA is trying to avoid by saying, we want you to use an ashless product
yeah,
because that ash is going to destroy the emissions equipment on a gas or a diesel.
yeah.
So transmission fluid, two-cycle oil, anything that's got
Two-cycle oil is better because it's designed to burn up,
and go into the air.
but it's also designed for small engines that aren't designed to go 300,000 miles. So it does have some ash, but it's
So what we're saying is that LX4 is better than both of those products,
yeah,
and it's safer.
it's definitely safer.
It's going to make the engine last longer and the warranty not be void.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I was getting at. I knew the answer, but I just wanted to
yeah.
bring it out so it's more fun. Okay, so we're going to increase lubricity by 56%. Protects the fuel pump and the injectors from wear and failure. Is there anything different about this that wouldn't be a normal lubricity additive? Like this says contains 0 alcohol or harmful solvents. Do you think that's across the board with all lubricity additives?
Here's what a lot of people do. I won't say any companies in particular, but in diesel fuel additives, you have active ingredients, and then what is not an active ingredient, you would put a solvent in there as a filler. People use solvents because they're inexpensive. So there's companies that cut their
Like who?
formulas.
I'm just kidding.
But that's why we make that call out, just to make the distinction that we don't have alcohol or solvents in
So
it.
basically, a lot of the other the stuff you'd buy on the shelf is maybe 10-20% active ingredient. The rest is solvent to act as a carrier. It dissolves whatever they put in there as a lubricity additive.
Yeah.
And the solvents aren't great for your engine. And this is much better way to do it. We're using a much higher end products first of all, and then a much higher level of chemistry. Is that the way you'd say that?
Yeah.
So it's, just doing the job much better than they would. Okay. So how long we've been working on this product?
It says here in this list sometime, but I'm just joking. It's actually been probably been a year and a half. We got the idea last season, and we started to get some materials in. Kind of the process we normally go through. We get an idea, we do a little bit of pre-qualifying testing to see if there's a chance we could come up with something unique. Again, last summer when we did our HFRR testing, we were close, but we didn't have anything unique. Then when we went to the events this year, that caused our focus to turn to that, and there actually was a couple additives that just became available that we used in this product, and that's how
cutting edge right
Yeah.
here, man.
Yep.
This is not Windows 95. We're up to Windows 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's great for CP4 fuel pumps.
Yeah, one thing, the lawsuit talks about, Duramax getting sued, but actually that CP4 pump is in other manufacturers' vehicles. So example, I took a little notes on the ones, so Dodge and Jeep from 2014 to present, that they have that in a 3-liter, and Ford in their 2011 and present 6.7 has a CP4 pump. So Duramax is getting all the attention, but there's other manufacturers out there that use that as part of their fuel system.
Is there anybody with any vehicle that you wouldn't say to use Lx4?
No, and here's the reason why.
Because it's that good.
Yeah. Well, if you take a CP4 pump and you see the cylinder and you see the we're going to have a CP4 pump, so you know what we're talking about. We have some cores that we have coming in here so we can demonstrate that. But basically, when you take an injection pump apart, you look at it, and I personally think, hey, that's just like, it's built a lot like an engine. It has a big job to do to take fuel and pressurize it
And push it at high pressure through a line.
Exactly. It's creating a lot of heat. You have close tolerances. You have, highly machined surfaces rubbing against each other. And when you see that, you really can understand the importance of lubricity.
Well, especially when you're looking at that, it's almost like a cylinder in an engine. You're thinking, okay, there's a fully formulated engine oil with oil, zinc, phosphorus, all these other things.
Yeah.
And here, it's just diesel fuel. And ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel isn't that far off of a solvent. I mean, it's pretty dry.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely see why you would need an Lx4 product in there. Okay. So any gas or diesel engine, you would use it. I like the way that comes out. Okay, testing. We've gone over the testing. So let's pick a couple of winners or do you want to see if there's any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to check here again. Yeah, Michelle Johnson, she chimed in and said she thinks that the new Cummins also comes with a CP4 pump instead of a CP3.
So I think a lot of people are moving to the CP4 instead of CP3, according to Trey, because they believe to be more efficient.
Yeah.
So they might not be as reliable, but more efficient. So we're going to see more of this. Again, the need for this product is going to grow because some of our products are made to enhance the efficiency of the engine or to make things last longer, which is great. I mean, those are all good, like EDT. But then there's other products that are made to literally fix a problem, like Stiction Eliminator. I mean, it fixes the problem that you have in a Ford. Like if you have a Huey injector, you can go to a Ford dealership and they could say 2 of your injectors need replaced today. And you can put a bottle of Stiction Eliminator in there and let that thing idle, drive it around for a while, go back to the same mechanic with the same computer program, and he'll say, your injectors are fine, did you replace them? So some products are made to fix very specific problems. And one of our taglines is problem-specific solutions.
Yeah.
So LX4 kind of meets both of those. Could be used as an everyday product to prevent problems, make the system be more efficient, but can also be made to fix a problem that you're going to have with the CP4.
Yeah, definitely, and it's cheap insurance. I know there's we should get one of those catch kits for our Duramax, but you know the LX4 should prevent 80% of the chance of it failing. But you know, basically, when that pump goes, it's gonna mess up the entire fuel system and be a very expensive repair.
Okay, so you're saying a catch kit. So what happens is, as the pump starts to get fatigued from too much friction, and the metal starts to shard off, and it gets into the stream of fuel, then what happens?
Yeah, so then along with your fuel being sent to the injectors, it sends metal particles through your entire fuel system, and
Like shards of glass?
Yeah, everything needs to be replaced. There's no way to flush it. You just have to replace every component. So there's people out there that have kind of a countermeasure for that, not preventing the root cause, but it's a catch can that basically filters and catches those particles. Should your CP4 pump fail, keeps it from going through the rest of your system.
So there's enough pump failures with the CP4 that somebody's come up with a way to keep from losing the rest of your fuel system when it does go.
Yeah, well, like Trey said, I checked out the spec, and in the United States we have an 8% failure rate, and overseas where the lubricity is just about 25% better, they only have a 1% failure rate on the CP4, so it's a big difference.
No, I'm just thinking as a business person, if a problem is big enough that somebody came up with a solution to it, then it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you wouldn't have went to the trouble to make something like that available. But
Yeah.
that should let you know how important it is to use this product.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other questions? And we'll get some winners. And
Just a couple comments. Tom Perini said he's game.
all right. Okay, Tom.
Okay.
It's going to be good.
Sean Tripoli says we need some filter kits for our semis.
We do have a filter for the semi. If you message us or talk to one of our account executives, it's a little bit bigger. It's not a lot more expensive, but the thing about the Franz filter is we're able to put it under the hood of a pickup truck. Before that, we had a great big filter made by Harvard that Levi's bringing it up there, called the LS 500, and that will keep that oil clean as can be. It's kind of like an old lubrifiner filter, but it's 1 micron. It's also one of the things I like about it is it's effective and it's reasonably priced. It does not break the bank. Mostly it's on the Lubrication Specialties website, but we do have those in stock, and we have replacement filters for them. The filters last about 50 to 100,000 miles. We do, of course, recommend oil analysis with it, but you'll find it to do the job really well.
Okay, Michelle Johnson said she brought up shock oil last week while you guys looked into it. Do you think it would be okay to run FR3 added to the current shock oil?
I do not see any reason why not.
Yeah, that should be okay.
Yeah, should be great. But we will look into shock oil to see. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, actually, Aaron and I were just talking about that just like literally a half an hour ago.
Okay. When will that be done?
Well, we're in the early stages, but we did have that on.
Can you have it by Friday?
We'll see. Let's see. Okay, Sean Bottomley, the Bearded Medic, how you doing? He says, how long can I go with your ATF? I use TSC just before replacing the old fluid. All of our automatic transmission fluids are PAO fluids. And even though we have our heavy-duty line and our race oil line, they're formulated almost exactly the same. So guys that are running like a 2,000 or 3,000 horsepower high torque transmission, they're using the same transmission fluid. So basically it's more of a, just like with engine oil, you just have to keep it clean, do regular maintenance on the filters, but the fluid itself should last forever.
Yeah, the fluid will last forever. It'll get dirty. That's going to be the problem. And if you run a lot of miles, and on our delivery trucks, and when I used to drive truck and drive a lot, I would use synthetic transmission fluid and a version of the Franz filter on the transmission. So the Franz can be used on your transmission. It's just harder to install because you have to find a pressure line.
Yeah.
But at the time I had a transmission cooler, and it was a Dodge van, like a 3500.
Yeah.
And I just tapped into the line, ran it through the Frans, and then put it back in.
Yeah.
So it worked out fine, and I mean, I went hundreds of thousands of miles without changing the oil, and the oil analysis were always fine. The oil never smelled burnt. That's one thing about PAOs, they don't burn. So you get better fuel economy, you can leave it in there. The place where it's good is if you do a lot of miles. There's a lot of road warriors that do 100,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
If you know, equip your truck, put a Frans filter on the transmission and on the oil, put the PAOs in, and you're good, man. You're
Yeah.
good for a year easy, probably
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. Yeah, and even at that point, just oil analysis to see where you're at, and you probably can keep on going.
Yeah, and the nice thing is when you put these systems on, again, it takes, if you don't want to do it, there's mechanics that will do it for you. I actually took that to a local mechanic, and he put it on for me. But the thing is, you can put a little T-valve in there and just capture a sample. So on the line through there, I had actually it was like the one you put on a refrigerator, but it had a T-valve and it had a cap on it, and I just open it up, fill up my oil analysis, send it in every 40,000 miles for my transmission, and they would just kind of keep me up to date on it. It never did it. I mean, it just stayed like brand new the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy good system. It's just takes a little bit of work.
Yeah. Dave DeSaris chimed in. He said, "How you guys doing?" He's late, but he made it.
All right, you have
Welcome.
to go back watch the film of. We took Kyle's truck out, his Suburban, and we burned out with it. It was good.
Tom Perini chimed in. He said the Caterpillar C7 has the same problem. So good to know.
That's good to know. We'll have to target that.
Christian Bates says, I'm ready to see how the LX4 does in my 0173. Previously, I was getting about 9 to 10 miles per gallon. Started religiously adding in EDT, and at my last fill-up, I had calculated to be getting 11.3 miles per gallon. So yeah, he already went up 10%. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Chime in next week or, when you get some data there and let us know how it's going. Christian Bates says we will be making a France filter set for the 6.7.
Yes, our goal is to get one completely done on the market and then go back and start on the next one. So what that looks like is we get all the parts, we do an installation, make sure it all works, test it for a little bit, and then put it out there. But that is the goal, is to do one for each of the main vehicles.
Just have a couple more here. Michelle Johnson also said, is the ATF compatible with ATF Plus 4 for the 68 RFE? Yes, it is.
Very good.
Yep.
So you're all set. You got everything.
Bearded Medic chimes in again and says, thinking Franz, hopefully 7.3 will come out soon like the 6-liter.
That would probably be the next logical one to come out with because we have everything here to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll work on that.
And last comment from Michelle Johnson. She said, EDT in my 6.7 Cummins gave me 2 miles per gallon.
Wow.
Can't wait to see what the LX4 does for fuel economy. Good to hear.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. If you want to pick a few people there to give a couple bottles of the LX4 squeeze bottles, and these are made for those of you that haven't used these. You can just squeeze up a couple of ounces to put into your tank. It makes it easy to dose it.
Okay, how about Michelle Johnson?
Okay, Michelle, you want to send us your information and we'll get one of those over to you?
Jamie Panora.
Jamie, send us your information on Messenger, however that works. They're laughing at me because I don't do Facebook.
And Christian Bates.
All right, Christian. And then anybody, if you're watching this later on, put your name in and let us know because we want to send out some before next week also. So I think that's about all we've got this week.
Yep.
Is there anything else we didn't cover?
I don't think so. We're on the last page.
We're all used up on information. We're
Yep.
all worn out. Okay. Right on time too. We actually did it in 1 hour. That's a new record. Normally we can't get it done that quick. Okay, well everybody, you have a great afternoon,
Yep.
and we will see you next Thursday where we will have the Ford 6.0 kit ready for you. I'm committing to that. We're going to have it. So everybody have a great afternoon.
Yep. Thank you.